Hi, I'm Ted. This is Sandwich Show on Ted Quarters, in which I make a sandwich. Today I'm going to try to make a chicken fried steak sandwich. Meanwhile, I've got my ingredients laid out here. Cube steak, it was recommended by the internet. There are jalapenos here. There's flour, some black pepper and chili powder, molasses, some eggs, challah bread. Here's bacon. I'm going to start with slicing the jalapenos because I don't know how long the rest of this is going to take, and I figure if I just have the jalapenos sliced, then I'm done with that and I don't have to rush through it while other stuff is cooking. I'll rinse them off again. I'm getting the middle stuff out, or most of the spice comes from the pith and the seeds. So I'm taking that out because I don't want them to be so hot that they overwhelm the rest of the sandwich. I'm gonna cut them reasonably thick. One thing I forgot to mention was that if you're really gonna be handling jalapenos a lot, you might wanna wear gloves or just be careful. Don't touch your eye afterwards, or like scratch yourself anywhere. Any open cuts, it can burn a lot. I didn't do that because I'm super hardcore. I cook bacon in the toaster oven. Underrated method of cooking bacon. I have found it's like the most even way of cooking bacon, and it's also good if you're using your stove for other things. You can just throw the bacon in the toaster oven. This is really good smelling bacon. The toaster oven's been preheated to 425 here. It's gonna take about 15-20 minutes. You know it's ready when it looks like bacon. This next step might be the most important. This is where we dredge the steak in the flour and give it the breading that will be the chicken fry. Add a little bit of black pepper to the flour, about the same amount of chili powder. Then with a fork, just sort of stir that up loosely to get the black pepper and the chili powder into the flour. People like to add salt, but there's gonna be plenty of salt elsewhere. Like for example, on top of the steak, I just sprinkle a little bit on, really just not a lot of salt, unless you're like a salt guy or girl. And some pepper. Take the steak, dredge it in that flour, into the egg, and then back into the flour. And really coat that sucker up, right? And I like to press it in a little bit. You know, you want the fry part of the fry, and so to do that, you gotta make sure that flour holds on there. Look at the size of that steak. It's gonna be delicious. Yep, bacon is pretty much done. Maybe overdone, but it'll be nice and crispy. All right, I've never actually made white gravy before, so I'm modifying a recipe from this cookbook, 2 Dudes, 1 Pan. Theirs is a sausage gravy. I'm not gonna use sausage because that would be ridiculous. This is a half a stick of butter. I'm gonna melt that in a saucepan over medium heat. That might be a little hot. I'm gonna add a tiny little bit of the bacon fat that I reserved. And a 1/3 cup of flour. The recipe calls for 2 3/4 cups heavy cream, which is crazy. I'm not gonna use quite that much because I want it to be a little thicker for putting it on a sandwich. Now it's like paste though, so we need thicker than that, right? Add the 2nd cup of cream. This is all in tribute to Paula Deen. Need a little salt, some black pepper, tiny little bit of molasses, and not a tiny little bit. Some hot sauce, so it makes it good. Now we're talking. Oil looks like it's hot enough now. It's evidenced by all that. Take the steaks, and we drop them in. No, there's no chicken in the chicken fried steak, unfortunately. The batter is the chicken fry. These only seem to take a few minutes. I mean, they're such thin steaks that they cook really quickly, and you know, you just want to get them nice and golden brown on the outside, so just a couple minutes per side. All right. I split and toasted these rolls. Think about the order here. How are we gonna do this? Start with a steak. 2 slices of bacon. Add some of this gravy. And finally, remember our jalapenos? All right. Oh yeah. This is exciting. This is what the finished sandwich looks like. It's chicken fried steak, bacon, country gravy, jalapenos on a challah roll. Now I get to eat it. That's the best part. I can't believe how tender the steak came out. It's really good. I'm really proud of myself right now. This is a really good sandwich. I'm not kidding. I'm usually my own harshest critic. The bacon is really crunchy. I thought I overdid the bacon, but it works perfectly here. The jalapenos are spicy. The steak is fried steak, and the challah bread rolls is perfect because it adds sweetness, and then the country gravy is just amazing. It's ridiculous. Someone needs to make this sandwich, like for real. This is someone out on the internet who has a restaurant. Make this sandwich.
When she saw the devil down there, I see the devil. His head as clean as a whistle. But she said, let me go, don't care what you say. I love the devil down there. Oh no, no, that is a mister. Shame is selling to buy now. But she said, let me go, don't care what you say. I love the devil down there.